this is live. I'm pretty sure it is. It says it is. So, if you guys already read the title, this is a reading for the full moon. April's full moon is the pink moon. If you guys don't already know, it's called the pink moon because April is the month. Obviously, we know April showers brings May flowers, and usually after April, in especially North America, after April will come the pink flowers that emerged. So the Native Americans would call it the pink moon because right after this full moon, they knew that very soon after the pink flowers would emerge. But just so you guys know, the pink full moon doesn't actually mean that the moon is going to glow pink. Actually, it's going to glow orange. So that's just like a heads up. If you're someplace where the sky is clear right now, the sky looks like it's clearing up. We did have like a cloudy day here in Connecticut. But essentially, once the sky is clear, it gets a little bit darker. You guys should see like an orange tint to the full moon. So it should be very beautiful. It is a super moon. So super moons mean that they're going to be a lot closer to Earth than usual. So you'll feel as if the moon looks very, very big. I might be taking some pictures with my telescope if I have a good clearing. And I'll post those. And in those pictures, you should be able to see the orange tint. I'm expecting some really good photos if I can get a clear sky. So fingers crossed, after this reading the sky will clear up. Another thing that the moon was called was also the sprouting grass moon, the growing moon, the fish moon, or the hare moon. Essentially all of these names for the Native Americans, because those are really all Native American names. Some of them are from Eastern practices, Hindu practices, but essentially what they all mean is that soon after this moon, there would be more emergence of food, offerings, etc., etc. So after this moon is when spring would come. So this full moon is the equivalent to spring cleaning. It's the spiritual spring cleaning of all the full moons. This is the moon that you would clean out old energy so that they can make room, so you can make room for new and fresh energy. And this moon was taken very seriously and is taken very seriously, not only in Native American culture, but also, like I said, in Eastern practices as well, because this full moon is actually the full moon that sets the tone for your full year. So this full moon is the first kind of official full moon of the year, because as we know that in other cultures, they don't follow the calendar we follow, the New Year calendar we follow. They follow their calendar. And with their calendar, this full moon symbolizes the start of the year. So they get to cleanse out any mistakes that they made with their New Year's. As we know, when we make New Year's resolutions, sometimes we don't stick to them right away. So this is kind of like a restart button. And essentially, this is the beginning of the year. So the pink full moon is in Libra, and Libra is ruled by Venus, and that is represented by pink, and it's also the sign of love. It's also the sign of love. And due to this, now is an opportune time to release old habits and behaviors that are hindering you from reaching your highest self, or that are stopping you from having healthy relationships, because Venus actually is... Sorry, I'm like already getting little things here. Because Venus is actually the ruler of love, and the moon is in Libra right now. So now is an opportune time to not only figure out how to get to your highest self, but also how to have healthy relationships. So a recommendation for you guys, let me see where I'm at with this. I'm going to just do crystal recommendations. Let me see, I know I spelled that wrong. Let's see. I just want to try very hard to get these time stamped. So yeah, so pink full moon crystal recommendations would be, today I have rondite, and rondite is very good for healing broken hearts, really kind of getting together your emotions. It's like you can find it more pink than I actually have it now. I like mine to be, that's a bad view. I'm not a crystal gal, guys. I'm just trying to show you guys the crystals that I do have. But this is rondite. It's to heal a broken heart, to maintain emotions, etc., etc. Pink opal is also a good stone to have. Now, mind you, if you guys don't have these stones at the top of the full moon or before I started this, it's still a good time to even get them tomorrow. The full moon, although it is only technically at its brightest for a short period of time, you will still feel the effects a couple days after, even a couple days before. So pink opal is about healing emotions. It helps sensitive or empathetic people. It has a relaxing and cooling and soothing effect. So these two paired together are a great pair for the full moon because they can really help you heal and stay calm through the healing process. It really helps you avoid panic attacks that you may feel when you're starting to try to release old things, and the worry and the fear and the anxiety that comes with that type of energy. Rose quartz is another great crystal. Unfortunately, I don't have rose quartz here. It's a pretty common crystal, so I try to stay away from it. But because it's a common crystal, it's also a very easy crystal to purchase. And that attracts and supports love of all types. In this case, with the Libra full moon, we really want to attract and support the energy of self-love. So rose quartz is a great crystal for that. And then also we have pink Himalayan salt. And pink Himalayan salt dispels bad energy and bad vibes. Salt is one of the best protecting energies that you can have, elements that you can have around you. So with that being said, those are the crystal recommendations, and I'll drop those in the comments, but it is rondite, pink opal, rose quartz, and pink Himalayan salt. These are all great crystals to have during this time. And I even put like a little description for you guys. They're kind of like basic descriptions, but it is what it is. And I'm also going to post now the order we're going to go in. I'm going to just go in the order. We're going to start with Libra. And the reason for it is because the full moon is in Libra. So we're just going to go ahead and start there. But just a little intro about this reading. If you feel like your love life is stagnant or toxic, you feel like you don't have healthy relationships, this reading was designed to help you figure out what you need to release and embrace under the pink full moon to have a healthier love life. So these are general readings. All my readings that I do on live and all my readings on YouTube are completely general readings, and they also may trigger intense emotions. So only watch if you are in a cool, calm, and collected place, guys. And please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If my storyline and the cards are not fitting with your storyline or your life or the narrative of your life, then it is possible that you should be more focused on your moon sign or your rising sign, or even your Venus sign, since Libra is ruled by Venus. So with that being said, if you did want a more personal reading, or you want a reading that feels more geared towards you, I would suggest booking a personal reading. Right now I'm doing pink full moon readings for only $22. Usually I charge about $44 for the full moon readings. Right now I kind of already have 4 people set up, so if you do want one of those readings, I suggest you jump on that because I can only book so many while the full moon is here. I'll be doing them over a course of the next like about 3 days. After that, I'm going to go ahead and close the full moon readings. But the link for that is in the description. But what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much like jump right into this. I had a few people ask me to do this specifically, so I'm very excited to like kind of get it done. I had some questions and things ready. Yeah, there we go. So I have the poll open. I want to know which air sign is the best, because right now we are in a full moon in an air sign. So I want to know which air sign you guys like the best. And then I do have some questions. to see if you guys know. Yeah, there we go. So let me know what your guys' moon signs are. If you know your moon sign, that's very helpful for you during these readings, because essentially, like I said, if you're not resonating with the sign, your sun sign, it's quite possible that you should be watching your moon or your rising sign. So just take heed to that. Maybe take this moment to figure out what that is. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. So for each sign, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and announce the energy, the general energy that I felt before. I did a pre-shuffle for each sign. And when I do a pre-shuffle, what I do is I kind of listen to music and I'll let my phone shuffle along while I'm shuffling the cards. So what I did is I shuffled through. For Libra, the energy was Take Action, and the song was I Like by Tink. So basically, there's an energy in your midst that's either, and this depends on who you are, male or female, because I'm sensing two different energies here. But essentially, Libra, what I'm sensing is that, I should have checked that. I want to try to keep these timestamps up, guys. It's hard for me to do it like as I'm talking. Alright, so Libra, yeah. So, essentially the energy that's coming through for Libra is that there is some energy around you that may not be holding up its end of the bargain. So essentially the energy that's coming through is take action on that. In the song I Like, she's pretty much kind of talking about having a person who is on top of their game. With, you know, they're charming, they're a good person. And the energy coming through when I was pulling was that this person who you have in your life is, unfortunately, there's just something lacking. And that's for the female energy. For the male energy, what I'm sensing was that it was more of a like, they're doing their part, but you may not be doing your part. So essentially, if you're watching Libra, what I'm sensing is that, or if you're interested in the Libra energy, what I'm sensing is that, oh yeah, this is important. The male energy surrounding Libra is kind of falling short. Yeah. Okay, so what the cards we have for embrace is we have wisdom and wish wisely. So essentially not advice, because I don't give advice, but essentially the wisdom is, have you ever been told that you're wise beyond your years? Now is the time to call upon your inner fairy wisdom to help you with a challenge. And wish wisely. Use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desire and take practical steps towards making your dream come true. So Libra, essentially what the cards are saying for you right now is that you should really be focused on listening to your intuition. Your intuition is telling you that something is wrong, or that something's not right. And you should look more deeply into that. It's kind of as if things are right in front of your face, but you're kind of missing them because you're wishing that this person is going to hold up their end of the bargain. You're wishing that they're going to be truthful and faithful and etc., etc. But unfortunately, that energy is not really coming through that way. It seems like there's hidden energy and hidden messages for you. So what I would say is that now is an opportune time with the full moon to go ahead and look deeper into any hidden energies that you're feeling or seeing. Next, what I'm going to say is that what you need to release is the fact that this person will awaken to something that you've already provided, or vice versa. What I'm sensing is for the male energies is that there's an awakening coming through in general. Somebody's being awakened to something, and someone's being awakened to something, and I see that there's a really big gap, a communication gap. That's the best thing I can say for Libra, is there's a very, very big communication gap. And I'm going to pull the moon card for just like the general energy. Yeah, it's kind of repeating the practical plan. It seems like This person wants to avoid making plans, or you, Libra, are trying to avoid making plans with somebody. You're trying to avoid, I'm not going to say a commitment because you could already be committed, but it seems as if this person's trying to avoid a future. So I think that essentially what you should do is embrace your inner wisdom and listen to your intuition. Your intuition is telling you what to do. The only person who has the answers is yourself. So the only thing I can recommend at this point is to kind of open up the door to the fairies and ask them how and when to make your move. What I'm going to say is, if you want more information, Libra, on that, I'm going to go ahead and say that you should book a personal reading. You can catch me my pink full moon reading in the description, and that would kind of give you a little bit more clarity. I'm sorry, it's been a long time since I've gone live, and to be honest, guys, I'm just kind of like, I was very sick for a very long time. I had like a medical situation happening, and I'm just kind of coming off of that. So it's like very like different for me to be pulling into these energies. I honestly haven't pulled cards in so long. I took a very long break. So it's kind of not overwhelming, but it's just like intense to be jumping into other people's energies because I've been so focused on my own energy. But let's go ahead and do Gemini. The energy for Gemini was Lilac Wine by Nina Simone, and it was your card that you guys pulled, which was the answers are coming. So Gemini, the answers you need are coming. Let's see what you need to embrace during this pink full moon. Gemini, you're a scientific person. Usually you like facts, so I would really implore you to check out the crystal list that I posted and check the scientific properties of them and check to see how those properties can help you out. That's definitely your card. So it looks like you need to embrace friendship right now, Gemini. It looks like your romantic relationships probably aren't the major focus. It looks like you need to focus on friendships in both this realm and in the next realm over. It says fairies and humans alike need friends. Now is the time to seek out those who will support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. Gemini, a common, this is clicking back to me. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done a reading, but the general theme for Gemini, especially on my YouTube, has always been that you guys are trying to kind of fulfill some type of creative project, and you're having an issue with this due to confidence, self-doubt, etc., etc. It seems as if you've always been trying to look for kind of like your soul family, people who will understand the vision. But it's seeming like right now, under this pink full moon, that there may be someone or something. Yeah, look. Someone or something that is finally ready to help you, but you're kind of missing it because you're still focused on your emotions. The pink opal during this full moon, guys, and you don't necessarily have to buy the crystal. You can simply get a picture of the crystal and set it as the background of your phone, so that you can see this crystal, get the energy from this crystal. But Gemini, what it's seeming like is you need to let go of the fact of thinking you're not ready. Because right now you're more ready than you think you are. And there are people in your midst who want to help you. And I said from this realm and another realm, because if you are a spiritual person, now is the time to call upon whoever it is that you pray to. If you're somebody who believes in fairies, who believes in different spiritual elements, the Native Americans strongly believed in the power of animals. If you need to call upon your animal totem, these are all things that will help you embrace the creative project or the project that you're working on, this next chapter of your life. It could be buying a house, buying a car, starting a business, entering school. Especially for a lot of Geminis, it most likely has something to do with entering school or some type of learning curve. That's weird because your dreams need a practical plan came out again. That just came out for Libra. Let's get a good shuffle here. But it sounds like you are ready, and now's the time to make a plan. Nothing will come of this situation in a time for healing are both also coming out. Nothing will come of this situation is always a sign for me that you're worrying too much, you're stressing too much. Yeah, it's time to release negativity. So it seems like you just need to let go, yeah, and work through your fears. Both Scorpio energy. You had Scorpio and Taurus energy here. But your general message for you, Gemini, is that it's time to jump into your dreams. It's time to jump in and start fulfilling your dreams. It's time to get a team together. It's time to start delegating roles and responsibilities to that team. It's time to get the ball rolling, Gemini. All right, so next we have Aquarius. So 2020. All right, Aquarius, I had Blue Alert by Ananji Thomas, and it was you're close to accomplishing your dreams. I need some water. So Aquarius, the energy that came a lot, like through the most for you was that something may have been hindering you in the past, but that thing is no longer hindering you. The energy that came through very strongly, essentially, was that you're no longer letting emotions lead your life. You kind of were stuck in a place that was very you were stuck in a place that was very emotional, and you may not have been expressing these emotions outwardly, but you were feeling them on the inside. So now essentially what's happening is you're ready to go ahead and kind of like embrace the new. Like what I was talking about what this full moon entails, which is pretty much like letting go of the old and bringing in the new. Right now is a time where you're very much like sunk into that ideal that anything that was old, any baggage that was baggage is what I'm hearing for you, Aquarius. You're letting go of all old baggage, emotional, spiritual, physical. You may be actually physically cleaning. Yeah, so you're kind of going through this whole process right now of doing that. So the card that came through for what you need to embrace is believe in magic. You need to believe, before I even read it, I'm going to say, like, you need to believe, essentially, Aquarius, that whatever it is that if you can dream it, you can do it kind of energy. Like, you need to believe in the fact that if you can envision it, it means it's possible, right? First always comes a vision. Before somebody made the airplane, they envisioned the airplane. They dreamt about the airplane. And then they had to sit down and figure out how it was going to work. They may have made a few failed airplanes, but essentially, eventually, the airplane took off, right? So believe in magic. Because, and you have to think about that, why that airplane metaphor came to me, is because airplanes may have literally been something that was completely unthought of at a time. It seems like magic that an airplane, I don't know if you've ever even been on an airplane, but still, sometimes when I'm on an airplane, I'm literally like, how does this heavy, huge machine fly through the air? You know? So it's kind of like, believe in magic, Aquarius. Open your eyes and see the magic that's all around in nature. The fairy of the Northern Lights says you are a part of nature, so you are magical too. You need to see magic in your ideas, and you need to see magic in the little, magic in the mundane, magic in every single corner of life. It looks like it's about to start raining, which is making me sad because that means I'm not going to get a picture of the full moon. So chance and patience came through for what you need to release. I'm going to read these from the book. Something is telling me for you guys to read these from the book. So let's read chance. Chance is trust in the cycles and rhythms of life. This could be an ending, but also a beginning. What did I just say, Aquarius? And if you find yourself stagnant, perhaps you need to turn the wheel again of letting go or unblocking what it is that is holding you back. Chance comes to those playing the game, who are open to all possibilities and who trust that they deserve to win. Perhaps there is a need to change your tactics, to withdraw a little and see the bigger picture. From this viewpoint, new possibilities should be clear. A reward for effort is shown in the completion of a project or goal, but be wary of resistance from outside influences. Keep going. Things may not be smooth, but they are turning your way eventually. And the affirmation is, I embrace the patterns and cycles of life. And the keywords are chance, reward, progress, completion, resistance, and difficulty. And then what we have next is patience. And we have, now is not the time to rush into a situation or make hasty choices. Relax, look deep within, and connect with the grounded wisdom before moving forward. Wisteria, that's the flower on here, also reminds us to appreciate and honor the divine feminine. It holds balance for all female energies. This flower allows us to explore our sensuality, our vulnerabilities, and feelings connected with love, safety, and gentleness. You may soon enjoy the company of others, which may not have been possible in the past. The gentle new beginning of friendships, romantic love, and a deeper understanding of unconditional love may too be found. Those wanting to work with their intuition will also be giving new insights, messages, and pathways to bring more understanding to current situations. Be careful of rushing into anything too quickly or taking this time for granted. The affirmation is, in stillness and peace, I will see the right time. And the keywords are patience, peace, stillness, unconditional love, femininity, and complacency. Yeah, so what I'm hearing for you guys is, first off, you're not listening to your intuition. So what I'm going to say is that in order to embrace a healthier love life, a healthier life in general, to have healthier relationships in your life, I should have kept out, but it doesn't matter. Let me pull the general message. But in order to embrace a healthier love life, a healthier life, Aquarius, right now is the time to be patient with yourself. You may have gotten rid of some dead weight, but essentially what I'm hearing is there still may be some things you have to work through internally. So take your time to work on those things. Once you've cleared all the dead weight, and not only the dead weight, but the residual patterns that come from having bad people in our lives, is when you'll be able to really take a step and start living the life it is that you're envisioning. And we have full moon in Virgo. Virgo may be relevant for you, Aquarius, but it says you are good enough. Yeah. So I kind of think this all comes back down to you and the work you need to do. You may have let someone go or something go, a bad job, a bad relationship. But the thing hindering you from having a healthy relationship with yourself is yourself. Right now, you need to know you are good enough. I'm not going to say you didn't do anything wrong, because I don't like to make blatant statements like that, but it's like, you know your worth, and if you walked away from something, you need to be confident in the choice that you made to walk away. So next we're going to go ahead and do Virgo, which everyone knows because I say it every single time. But Virgo is my favorite sign. I'm a Virgo. I have strong Virgo placements. The Virgo energy was Peace of Mind by Lauryn Hill, and it was work through your fears. So pretty much what I'm sensing is that you may be extremely anxious about the future, Virgo. What else is new, Virgo? You're always anxious about the future. But essentially, with the Peace of Mind coming through by Lauryn Hill, it's kind of saying that now is the time to relax. You may actually have like a couple weeks or a week to kind of like kick back, but you're not taking it, you're taking it for granted. You're not taking advantage of this time. So Virgo, my general advice before I even pull the cards is honestly to take advantage of this time you have, because what's going to happen is if you watch this time pass, all of a sudden the summer's going to be over, and you're going to be like, oh shit, winter's settling in again, and it's time for me to get, serious again. Especially with you, Virgo, your birthday comes in fall, late summer, early fall, depending on if you're in August, a late August Virgo or a September Virgo. But the point is that you have until then, until you start taking things seriously again. So you guys always get more cards from me. I'm only doing those 3. We're cutting it off because I'm not staying here for like 10 hours. What you need to embrace, Virgo, is first off, you need to embrace the journey. It's time to prepare for a journey. It may be impromptu or planned. Either way, make sure you're ready when the time comes. Pack your passport now. So what I'm hearing is that the best way to not worry is to just be prepared. And you can't be prepared for every single thing, but what I'm hearing is like, prepare for the worst but expect the best, right? So yeah, get ready for your journey, because you need to be prepared, and be prepared for the worst. Be prepared for rainy days. Make sure to bring your jacket on this trip. Well, essentially, expect there to be sunny days. Expect that every single day is going to be worth it. Expect that every single day is going to be that was weird. Okay, yeah. And then flourish. The lotus flower fairy tells you to learn from experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas of your life or those of others. With the flourish coming through, this is very important because we're in the pink full moon. And like I said, the pink full moon for Native Americans signified the fact that winter was finally over and spring was coming. It was going to be a good time for, like it's saying, flourish, to be able to hunt, gather, do all that good stuff to make revive shelters, get food, etc., etc. And then the healing is coming through. So now is the time for you to give or receive healing. Everyone has a natural ability to heal others. Yes, even you. It seems like you have some wisdom, Virgo, that could be helpful to others that you're kind of holding back on. I'm sensing that you should be starting like a YouTube channel or some sort of like social media journey. Like you should be documenting like your move, or if you're traveling, you should be documenting these things, Virgo. I'm going to pull what you need to let go of. So I'm hearing you need to let go of laziness. And you need to let go of being the know-it-all. So you need to let go of like trying to know everything at all times. And you need to let go of the fact of feeling like now is not the time. You don't have enough energy. I'm sensing this is a really big energy issue with you. It says a new romantic cycle begins. That's your general message. So Virgo, it seems as if like you're on a very big self journey, a spiritual journey here, a spiritual journey of healing, a spiritual journey that's turned physical. So you may actually be traveling to heal. You might be planning vacations or moving, things of that nature, and essentially the point is to heal yourself. And the new moon in Libra is signifying that this full moon for you is going to be a general time for you to kind of get closer to yourself. So let's read this out of the out of the book. Give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you and for someone else. A new relationship could be beginning, and if that's the case, the chances are this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. And anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Avoid being selfish. It won't get you anywhere at this time. Reach out to someone and let them know you care, Virgo. And the additional meanings for this card are feel more, think less. Marriage or engagement is on the cards. A legal matter will go your way. And pay some attention to your appearance, but don't be all about appearances. And the teaching. Libra is a sign of love and harmony, negotiation, and relationships. It is harmonious, kind, and luxurious, and always aiming for balance. So when we have the new moon in Libra, or at any time you draw this card, there's a restart possible for anything and everything connected to partnerships, negotiations, appearances, and justice. Remember that Libra is depicted by a set of scales. This energy wants to bring things back to an equilibrium. What I'm going to say for you, Virgo, is that this could be an actual person, but this could actually just be two parts of yourself. It could be the conjoining of your ego and your soul. But what I'm going to say is that for some, this is quite literally a person. It could be that you're moving or you're traveling and you're supposed to kind of ask somebody to go along with you, Virgo. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But essentially, you are going on a spiritual journey. You're going on a spiritual journey that, like I said, is turning physical. So it seems like there may be someone else in your midst who's supposed to join the ride with you, who's supposed to go on this journey with you. Maybe this person is supposed to essentially heal you. I'm sensing like a twin flame energy. If you're somebody who believes you're a twin flame, or you have a twin flame and you're a Virgo, I would highly recommend doing the full moon reading, because I can tap into that energy more. And that description is in that link is in the description box. They're half off right now. They're only $22 for the pink full moon readings. But Virgo, overall, your message is definitely to your message is definitely to reach out to somebody you care about. Maybe that person is you. I don't know. But that's definitely what you need to be doing right now. All right, we're going to move into Capricorn. So Capricorn, your song was Forgive Them, Father from Lauryn Hill. And the general energy for you guys was make a plan. Make a plan make a practical plan for your dreams. So that seems like it's coming through as a general energy for everybody. But essentially for you, Capricorn, it seems as if there's some ideals or some things happening for you, and you're kind of relying on either spiritual or just kind of wishful thinking in order to bring this through, and it's not going to be that easy. You're kind of right at the finish line of developing an idea or developing some type of business, creative endeavor, whatever it may be, and you can't just have wishful thinking. You have to kind of put a plan into place in order to make sure that this is followed through. The card that came through for what you're supposed to embrace right now is music. So Capricorn, for you right now, what you should be doing under the full moon is definitely listening to some shamanic music. Speaking of which, I had mine on in the background and it turned off. But right now you should be listening to some shamanic music, frequency music. These things will help you stay focused, help you get a plan, they help you meditate. Moreover, listen to the song that came through for your sign, which was Forgive Them, Father by Lauryn Hill. That song may really resonate with you right now under this full moon. This full moon is a great time for any sign to listen to music, but essentially for you guys, it's going to go ahead and be very, very important. So it says, listen carefully, for there may be a message in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm theories to your door. So in order to basically attract the energy you want, attract the answers you want in life, Capricorn, now is an opportune time to embrace music, because you're going to find a lot of the answers you need right in music. This is actually called something. I forget what it's called. I can't think of it right this second, but if I think of the word, I will write it down for Capricorn. Sorry, let me just do currently. So also to the card that came through, you need to embrace new beginnings. This fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. So yeah, I feel like that kind of coincides with you guys making a practical plan and not like, for example, when you have a new baby, yes, you want to be spiritual and you want to think like, you want to have wishful thinking. You know, I pray my baby's healthy. I pray my baby's safe. These kinds of things. But overall, you need a practical plan. You need a baby registry. You need things to get the child prepared for the world. You need things to get you mentally prepared to have a child in the world, especially if you're like a first-time parent. So essentially what it's saying is that, yes, have this wishful thinking, but also get a plan into play for yourself. Because whether this is an idea, a new house, a new car, a spiritual journey you're going on, regarding school, it doesn't matter, Capricorn. You need to focus on having a plan that is going to help you see it through all the way, especially if it's a creative idea. Discipline is how creative ideas see through. You know, if you're writing a book, if you're going to create a new business, if you're doing anything of the sort, you need a plan with deadlines. That's what I'm hearing for you guys very strongly. Deadlines. If you don't know how to make a plan, focus on making a deadline. All right. So the things you need to let go are death and clarity. So for some Capricorns, what I'm hearing is that essentially you need to let go of the ideal that everything dies. You have this ecclesiastic, I think I'm saying that wrong, I don't really care, view that everything dies and nothing lasts forever. It's kind of like the Scorpio view of the world. But you need to understand that things die in order for new things to be born, right? Something may have died in your life. Something or someone may have died in your life, and that may have left you traumatized. You may not even realize it, but especially with this baby energy coming through from the first one, what it's kind of saying is that, like, you may have lost something in its early stages, right? And because you lost something in its early stages, you're scared to start again, because you're scared that if you start with early stages again, essentially it will be lost again. Don't have that fear. Let go of this ideal that you have a perfectly clear picture of what death means and what loss means, because it seems that you still have a lot more that you need to learn. And in regard to your relationships, and in regard to your relationship with yourself, in regard to your relationship with your career, it seems like understanding death and understanding loss and understanding new beginnings is very important for you. So let's go ahead and read this. An ending is indicated. You may be about to experience it, or you may need to invoke it yourself. Devil's trumpet can also be reminding you of something that has passed. Often it is impossible for the new to grow and take hold until the old has actually died in some way and ceased to be. A time of sleep, long-earned rest, and withdrawal may be forthcoming and attained. Loss is a strong force associated with the devil's trumpet, so extra care should be taken at the moment, as well as consideration for things you may actually wish to let go of. Now would be a very good time to take action to release what is no longer required. A very positive aspect of Devil's Trumpet is that it can also signify the end of difficulties and challenges which you may have had to face, as well as the completion of arduous tasks undertaken to attain goals. Challenges include feeling unable to walk away from a situation or to admit defeat. The affirmation is, I accept that this is an ending. And the keywords are death, defeat, loss, ending, completion, sleep, and passing. I think another beautiful thing about this is that, you know, death isn't just ugly and unnecessary. Death does have purpose in our lives, in the sense that even what I'm telling you, everybody, about this full moon is about release. Release is essentially death. You have to let go of certain things in order to let beautiful new things into your life. So sometimes you need to let go and kill a certain mindset in your life. Sometimes you need to let go and kill certain behaviors in your life in order for you to allow new behaviors to come into your life. So maybe try to look at the positive aspects of death, and try to understand that death happens for a reason. It's not an unnecessary element of life. It may be hard to understand when it's happening because you want to know why in the moment. But sometimes the why isn't shown to us, and sometimes the why can only be shown to us once we've fully grieved. So maybe there is something in your life, an ending that has happened, that's disallowing you from moving into the future. Wow, yeah. And then also what I want to say is that another thing for you guys right now is that you guys could be coming to an end of a semester, an end of a job, an end of like a chapter in your life. And it feels like scary because you don't know what's going to come after that chapter. So Capricorn, for you under this full moon, it's really good to embrace music and to embrace new beginnings. With this ending comes a new beginning. So I think that's really interesting because in your embrace pile, you have new beginnings. And in your let go of pile, you have death. And that kind of is pretty self-explanatory. Embrace new beginnings, let go of death. Let go of, yeah, let go. Just let go. Let it be done. Let it be over so that you can let the new thing begin. You may not know what that new thing is just yet, Capricorn, but there is something lurking around the corner from you. And like it says, it's something in its infant stage because this talks about a baby. So it means it's something in a very infant stage, okay? So step out of your comfort zone is your general message. I'm going to go ahead and read that from the book, Capricorn. So stepping out of your comfort zone kind of is exactly what I've been saying the whole time for you though, Capricorn. Essentially, you need to get out of this ideal that death is bad or things ending is bad. And stop trying to hold on to things that are unnecessary. Sometimes things have to end. Okay, so there's a strong feeling when you get this card that it's time to leave the past behind. I can't make this shit up, guys. Because you are headed in the right direction. If you want to be happy and fulfilled, you need to get going towards doing the thing that scares you within reason. This card is all about living your life purpose, which is possibly what you've asked about. It's urging you to dare to do something different with your life and your direction, to take action. So are you willing to follow through and lead the life you incarnated to live? If you finally find the courage to make a leap, there's a good chance you'll come to ask yourself, why did I wait so long? And the affirmation is, I know I'm headed in the right direction. I'm going to go ahead and add to that. I know I'm headed in the right direction, and I am no longer looking back. And additional meanings for this card is, you're headed for something which feels like destiny. You need to face a fear and get over it. Time to stop obsessing about someone or something. Stand on your own 2 feet, and you have got this. And the teaching is, the North Node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic. I'm sorry. It's when the moon crosses the ecliptic going north. It's a karmic point, and on the horoscope chart shows us what we need to do and where we need to go with our life to find satisfaction, fulfillment, and happiness. The North Node is the karmic astrological point that reminds us, to paraphrase Andre Gide, is that in order to discover new oceans, we have to be prepared to lose sight of the shore. So I'm going to go ahead and close that off there for you, Capricorn. I feel like your guys' was pretty self-explanatory. I feel like I'm getting back into the rhythm here, guys. So we're just coming to the end of Earth signs. If you're just tuning in, I've already done Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Virgo, and Capricorn. Now I am moving into Taurus. So Taurus, your general energy was Creep by TLC. And it was to have faith in your dreams. Let's see what you guys need to have faith in, what you need to embrace, what you need to let go. We're going to be pulling what you need to embrace with the fairy cards and what you need to let go with the Flowers of the Night Oracle. This is what you need to embrace because it's trying to get through twice. Man, where'd it go? Because that was trying to pop through. I'll leave this to the side, but there's another card that was like coming through super strong. It was transformation. Maybe that's just a key word. There it goes. Because this card is coming through. It was like popping through multiple times. Transformation. It's actually a melanin woman as well. Melanin fairy. But it says this fairy tells you to surrender to transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace your transformation. The best is yet to come, Taurus. So have faith in your dreams, and transformation kind of coincide there. But you have some other fairy messages for what you need to embrace. I'm gonna get some water. So I also have Flourish, which says, the lotus flower fairy tells you to learn from experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas of your life or those of others, and ask for help. Angels are celestial beings who protect everyone, and the fairies say now is a time for you to ask for angelic assistance. It seems like you're doing things behind the shadows, especially with this Creep by TLC coming through. I didn't really understand it until I got these cards right here. It seems like you guys kind of... It seems like you guys kind of like might be doing something behind the scenes, like working on a project. It may be that you're, like, I hate to say it, but kind of starting a relationship behind the scenes or something of the sort. So what I'm sensing is that for you guys, now is the time to ask for help and bringing this to light. It seems like you want to not be doing this behind the scenes. You want to do this open in public. You want to be in this relationship in public, or you want to start, you just want to be public. I can't really get too much into it because I'm going to start getting too specific and storylines here, and that's not what we're doing today. We said we're going to keep this very general. But if this is resonating with you, definitely send me a message. Maybe we can talk more deeply into that part. But essentially, Taurus, what you need to let go of is challenges. It seems like there's a bat here too. So like the animal, a bat. It seems like you're working a lot in the night and then sleeping all day, like on a project or on a person. Like you're with this person at night, but like during the day it's like back to work and back to regular lifestyle. Let's read this. You need to dig a little deeper in a certain situation, but the reward and experience gained will be worth it. Yeah, this is like something shallow, something in the dark, something that's very, it's satisfying in a way, but it's unfulfilling because you're not getting enough of it. So it could be a creative project, but it also could be a relationship. Things may seem unsolvable or insurmountable, but there is a way forward, and you could do this because even now your inner strength has not been fully used. Dreams are very important, and you would be well advised to keep a dream journal so you can explore each layer of your dreams later on. Overall, the energy of this flower is that of a difficult or challenging situation, which can actually be resolved, and in the end, there will be much to be gained by your perseverance. Those working with guides or allies, look at that, asking for help. Those working with guides or allies may find them a little obscure or hard to understand, and you will need to work a little more to connect with them. Be aware of apathy at this time. And the affirmation is, I have the strength and will to do this. And the keywords are challenge, inner strength, guides, dreams, perseverance, and apathy. Okay, so essentially, Taurus, what I got to say to you is whatever you're doing is extremely shallow. You need to go deeper with it, and in order to do that, you're going to need help from some spiritual guides. You're going to need, like, some spiritual advice. If you're not somebody who literally wants to get on your knees and pray to God, like, go talk to a pastor. Talk to, you know, somebody who does readings like me. I'm not quite sure what to recommend there, but you need to talk to somebody who has a spiritual view on life, because the issue you're dealing with isn't a practical issue. It's a spiritual or emotional issue. So maybe you even need to talk to a therapist. If you're not somebody who's like into spirituality altogether, I kind of suggest talking. Yeah, it says you and your loved ones are safe in a time for healing. And also, nothing will come of this situation is here. The energy is gaining momentum, which means that what I'm sensing from that is your doubt and your fear of this situation is gaining momentum. Nothing will come of this situation is coming through because it's telling you that whatever you're doing in the dark nothing's going to come of it until you bring it to light. A time for healing, and you and your loved ones are safe, are both kind of telling me that you're very fearful that whatever it is you're doing in the dark will hurt someone else or jeopardize another relationship you have. Maybe you have a hobby that's, or like, I'm sensing for some Tauruses, this could be kind of religion based. You may be playing with one religion, but your family's another religion. So you're practicing one religion in the dark, but you aren't doing it out in the open in public. But you and your loved ones are safe is an indication that whatever it is you're doing, whether it's this religion thing, whether it's a career path you're trying to accomplish without telling anybody, or a relationship that you're trying to embrace without letting other people know, maybe like a baby on the way that you're not telling people about or something. Essentially, Taurus, it's like you need to know that you and your loved ones are safe, that nobody's gonna be harmed by this. As long as this is something where people aren't going to, you're not putting people at risk physically. So maybe some people's emotions will get hurt, but essentially your home is safe, you know? So that's kind of like a big message to remember. I want to read A Time for Healing, and then we're going to go ahead and close off Taurus. So Taurus, we have the balsamic moon. I'm like, where am I going here? Where is this? There it goes, right there. So the balsamic moon, it says, pulling this card suggests that the past is in the past and a bright future is beckoning. However, before you take your next step, make sure that both you and the situation feel healed. This is not the time to paper over cracks or to simply pretend that everything is okay. Rather, you still need a little more time to heal and to soothe both yourself and anyone else in need. Then remind yourself that anything is possible if you believe it. This is also a time to surrender and wait to hear guidance from the universe. Powerful insights can be had. If you know that someone or something really isn't good for you, this card is a reminder to surrender. Start to work on your belief in your dreams so you're ready when the time comes. Isn't that funny? Because the challenge was talking about dreams too. So Taurus, you may have to go to your family because you may need their support to help you through something, to help you through a breakup, a failed business. I'm not quite sure, Taurus. There's a lot of energy coming through him. The affirmation is, when one is healed, all are healed. And the additional meaning is, it's time to let go of the past. You're about to turn the corner. You need more time to heal. Think about how this situation would look if everyone were healed. And the teaching is, patience is required at the time of the balsamic moon. It's a time for self-care as you slowly but surely prepare yourself for the new moon, which is just around the corner. No matter which point in the current moon cycle you have pulled this card, it's a reminder to go a little bit easy on yourself. The time to step into your creatrix power will come soon enough. Give yourself the time you need. I'm going to close that there, Taurus. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory if you know what you're going through. I'm not going to keep trying to tap into energy I don't quite understand, because I don't know exactly what you're going through, because like we talked about in the beginning, these are general readings. But yeah, that was very interesting. Drop a comment or send me a message if that did resonate with you, if that made sense to you in any way. We're going to jump into Leo. Alright, so the song for Leo was the intro from Ja Rule's 336 album. I'm sensing that there's a lot of emotions, a lot of betrayal, a lot of deceit happening, Leo. And it says that a personal issue is coming to a resolution. It seems like you have a lot of worry about something, and you feel like if you just removed yourself from a situation, that everything would get better. Because, you know, he does talk about Yeah, I'm not going to say the word because I don't really support that. That song was made a long time ago, but that could be very triggering for people. But essentially, you know, he talks about not being here anymore in that song. And that's kind of like your position, as if I wasn't here, all these people wouldn't be hurt. If I wasn't here, I wouldn't be hurt. So what this is telling you to embrace right now is outdoors, solitude, nature. Let's read it. It says, go outside. It's time to go outside. Tune into the powerful peace of nature wherever you are and feel at one with your habitat. Nature signs is be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need to open our hearts and minds. There's a lot of butterflies here too. I don't know if that's significant for you. It's a very beautiful card. I have a lot of strong Leo elements, and it's speaking to me. And solitude. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet time. So it seems as if a lot of the reason you're feeling like you're affected by so many other people, and also that you're affecting so many other people, is because you're surrounded by so many people. You need to kind of just find some alone time so that you can reconfigure what it is that you want, what it is that you need, what it is that you desire. What you need to let go of is passion. It seems as if you might be kind of focused on high intense connections, intense relationships, etc., etc. So now is an opportune time for you to kind of go outside of those and kind of have a more subtle, calm, and silent lifestyle. Let's get your general message. We're going to keep Leo short, to be honest. Believe in the impossible. Let's go ahead and read that here. As the saying goes, some things happen only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests you're about to get a rare chance that something one-off could well be about to happen. This card is very positive sign if you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking too much of the universe. Whatever you are asking about, well, it might only happen once in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with this rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking for can never go in your favor, then guess what? It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. And the affirmation is, I'm lucky. And the additional meanings for this card are miss the chance and it might not come back anytime soon. What happened may only happen once. The person you're inquiring about is a rare find. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. And this situation is unlikely to repeat. There are usually 3 full moons between each equinox and solstice and vice versa. Sometimes, though, we get 4 full moons in a single season. When that happens, the third of the season's 4 full moons is called a blue moon. At least that was the original definition of a blue moon. These days, it's popular to use blue moon for the second full moon in any calendar month that has 2 full moons. Oh, my heart is so heavy. Leo, it seems as if there's an opportunity you have that's not going to repeat itself. It seems as if there's a very, very unique situation in your life and you're kind of taking it for granted. Not because you want to, but just because you believe that the impossible isn't possible. You need to believe in the impossible. You need to, the person you're inquiring about, the person you're thinking about, Leo, they're a rare breed, they're a rare energy, and you would be foolish not to take advantage of this energy in your life. To take it for granted would be very, very foolish because you're never going to find a person like this person again. With this passion coming through, it seems as if, like, You have a passionate relationship with this person, but it seems like this person has much more to offer than just passion. And if you take some time into your solitude, you'll actually find that this person is much more intellectual, much more funny, much more sensitive. They're much more what I'm sensing is that this person is the whole package. You just haven't realized it yet. So yeah, I'm going to close that off there, Leo. Alright, Sagittarius, let's jump into it. Leo really just kind of pissed me off, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really like Leo energy. Sagittarius, the song that came through for you guys was Love is Blind by Eve, and it was Expect a Powerful Change. So let's see what you guys need to embrace. Alright, so it seems like for Sag, essentially, first and foremost, Sagittarius, you need to protect your energy, protect your dreams. You've been feeling like somebody is sucking your life force out of you, and I'm going to be honest, they are. You may be feeling sick or ill, and that's because somebody is sucking the life out of you. They're taking you for granted, or they're using you emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. I can't tell you what it is, but essentially they are using you, and as a result, you feel tired and you feel weak. You might even feel sick. So protect your dreams. You are the guardian of your precious dreams, and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you are ready to release them. There could be some things you're desiring to do and thinking about doing. It would be foolish to discuss these plans with anybody right now. It's going to be more draining than empowering. Life energy. The happy fairy of sunshine brings a lot of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. So it seems as if there's some things blocking you from fulfilling your dreams. So first you need to start with protecting your dreams, and then what you need to do is use that life energy force that's being given to you by the universe, especially with the expect a powerful change. It seems like you're being given like a second chance to complete something. And you need to do this with much more wisdom. That's why the wisdom card is coming through. Actually, let me read the wisdom. You need to do this with much more wisdom, because if you do it with much more wisdom this time, you'll actually see the success that it is that you desire, the success that you thought you were going to originally see the first time. But you didn't. Wisdom. Have you ever been told that you're wise beyond your years? Now is a time to call upon your inner fairy wisdom to help you with a challenge. So yeah, you need to focus on your inner wisdom to know how to get this done. I'm not going to say without other people, but what I'm going to say is without announcing constantly what you're doing. And then abundance. Prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there is enough abundance for everyone. So essentially, Sagittarius, it's like right now is an opportune time for you to focus on you, focus on your dreams. When it comes to love, when it comes to relationships, I have to be honest, I hate to plug, but I really recommend getting my book, Lovesick, because it seems as if you need to find your purpose in life, and you need to go full-fledged ahead, full force ahead. I don't know the right quote there, but you need to go full force on whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in life. It seems like right now is a time to focus on your purpose in life and less about love. It seems like you need to find love through different definitions. You need to find platonic love, familial love. You need to find love in the mundane. You need to find love of self. You need to find love, intimacy. Your intimacy and intuition fell out. And transformation, transforming, which is what my book is all about. Transforming, redefining love, transforming your ideal of love, transforming this ideal that love is romantic. You know, there's 5 different versions of love as far as the Greek were concerned. Some different cultures believe there's much more than just 5. Essentially, love is around us. Love is within us. Love does not come from one other person, and love is not solely romantic. So intimacy and intuition here tells me that you need to find a more intimate relationship with love, not a sexual relationship or a romantic relationship with love. You need a more intimate and more fulfilling relationship with love, and you need to listen to your intuition in order to get that. I'm going to read intimacy and intuition here. Intimacy is sharing of feelings in a safe and close relationship are highlighted. You may find yourself drawn to someone with a deepening emotions between you. This energy relates to romantic relationships, but also friendships. A passion, a cause, hobby, or path is also strongly indicated by this card. You may find yourself more involved or even find something rather special in these areas of your life rather than romance. Validation is a very strong factor at present, both seeking it and receiving it. So make sure your confidence is in check and not completely invested in the opinions of others. Mind your actions connected with intimate relationships. There is a risk of becoming too dependent, and your self-respect could come under a bit of battering while trying to please others. The affirmation is, it is safe to draw closer, and the keywords are intimacy, validation, confidence, self-respect, dilemma, and dependence. So you need to stop being dependent on other people, other people's attention. My book talks very strongly about becoming addicted to attention and how we can become addicted to the attention of others. You need to give yourself the attention that you're seeking from others. And I stopped on intention, but that's like a message for me. I'll read that after. Intuition. This flower will assist you in meditating and understanding dreams, visions, and feelings. It will often indicate that you need to look beneath the surface and that there is more going on than meets the eye. Creative blocks are self-imposed and are easily lifted if you simply do the work or take the first step. The same goes for indecision at this time. You may actually find new creative ideas are forthcoming. Trust your feelings, listen to your inner voice, and do not be swayed by others. Illusions are very easy to believe and may present themselves in ways which are easy to mistake as signs or opportunities. Take time to meditate, to sit and think deeply about what it is you want, believe, and know to be truth and reality. And the affirmation is, what I feel is valid and I trust my inner voice. And the keywords are intuition, visions, dreams, creative blocks, meditation, daydreaming, and illusions. I feel like those are self-explanatory, Sagittarius. Let's pull your general energy card. I think this is your guys' card. Leo's coming through very strongly here. I don't know if a Leo is relevant. Says the end of a tough cycle approaches the full moon in Capricorn. So we have Capricorn and Leo being very strong. So I'm not going to necessarily say that, but fire signs and earth signs could be very strong here. So Leo, Sag, Aries, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. I'm getting told to read 2 different. So I'm going to read these, the end of a rough cycle, the full moon in Capricorn for you guys. It says, how hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you are wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card could be a strong sign to make an exit. The end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. Release control and trust the universe. A professional project may be ending now. Admit if you have been overly hard-headed or hard-nosed. Find a balance between your personal and private lives. It's time to stop fearing the worst. And the full moon in Capricorn has a very strong work ethic and energy, and will more than likely come up when you're asking about a professional question. If your question is about another matter, it will serve as a much needed reminder to move through any feelings of hopelessness you may have been feeling about your situation. And this applies no matter when you draw the card. Making a plan is a far better use of your time than worrying. Okay, Sagittarius? So Sag, I'm going to just go ahead and read the life energy card. I just feel like I'm supposed to read. I just can't read all four. I'm just not doing that. But it says life energy. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. The fairy of sunshine comes with an abundance of life-giving light and energy. Perhaps you've been feeling shy or lacking in confidence. If so, this golden fairy says it is time to shine. Sometimes we hide our light for fear of being seen and feeling vulnerable. This is quite normal, but it serves us neither spiritually nor physically. Light also exposes any issues lurking in the shadows that need to be healed and released, allowing this process to happen. Once these issues are revealed, there's no need to dwell on them anymore. Recognize and release them, then move on. This process is essential for spiritual growth. Radiating our natural light makes us feel good, and it can inspire others to shine their inner light too. Maybe the fairy of sunshine is saying you need to get more vitamin D from sunlight. Perhaps a mini holiday to a sunny location is just what the fairy of sunshine ordered. She may be telling you that if someone feels like a ray of sunshine in your life, keep them close. Or she may be calling you to be a ray of sunshine in someone else's life. Sunlight is healing, but too much of it can be harmful. So on a practical level, be sensible when you sunbathe and use sun protection made from natural, ideally organic ingredients to protect your skin. Yeah, so with the protect your dreams coming through as well, Sag, right now is about protecting yourself, listening to your intuition, and going ahead and going deeper to have a more intimate relationship with yourself, especially under this full moon. Light a candle, get some crystals, put them under your pillow. I would put some black onyx or some black kyanite under your pillow to help soak up some bad energy, to stop you from having dreams that are negative, stop people from dream walking into your dreams. And then from there, what I would do is I would really start meditating daily. Yoga, meditation, frequency music, these things can help you get to the inner cause, or the inner answers that you seek. All right. All right, Aries. The general energy that came through for you guys was Act Right by Tierra Marie, and it was Believe in the Impossible. So it seems like there could be somebody or something in your life that's kind of expressing that they're faithful, that they care about you, that they want to be with you. What I would say for you is that it's a opportune time to kind of believe in the impossible, kind of like that blue moon energy I was given Leo. Yeah, abundance is coming through in the magical gateway. First off, stargazing and tree wisdom are coming through as well, so it's kind of obvious that you guys need to have a more open relationship with the higher realms. Essentially, especially with the magical gateway, so I'm going to start there, what you need to embrace. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown, yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forward without looking back. And abundance. Prepare yourself for income and abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there's enough abundance for everyone. So I'm going to read the magical gateway from the book, what you need to embrace. The fairies are asking you to step through the fairy door and into their world of magic and wonder. They're telling you that fairy tales are real and that you're never too old to believe in fairies. Believe in the impossible. Perhaps you've been thinking about embarking on a fairy path. If you're using this deck, the chances are you already have more than a passing interest in the way of the fae. If so, now is the time to walk through the fairy door and fully embrace your magical fairy self. The golden key to this fairy door resides in your heart. It's important to know that once you step through the magical gateway, your life will be changed. You see and feel nature in a deeper way. You'll feel more connected to the plants, trees, and flowers and develop a deeper compassion for all living things. You might even find yourself becoming vegan or vegetarian if you're not already. Your interest in conservation and the environment could also be heightened. These are all traits of someone who has ventured through the fairy door, so consider this carefully. If you're at all unsure whether you should walk through the fairy door, meditate on the question until you know in your heart that it's the right thing to do. Once you've passed through the door, prepare for more magic and joy to enter your life, knowing that you're always safe, protected, and loved. Yeah, so it seems like for you guys, especially with the stargazing and the tree wisdom, it seems like you guys just need to spend more time outside, especially more time outside alone. I apologize, at night. Looking at the moon, looking at the stars, connecting with nature, especially under this full moon, because it seems as if this is going to be a space and a time where you guys are actually able to get answers about your relationships, answers about this person that you love or that you're thinking about. I hate to say it because I say it, I'm kind of redundant with it, but the answers you need are always within self, right? You can't find your answers in a reading, and you can't find your answers in a book. You can't find your answers in another person. Your intuition is always going to tell you if there's a situation that's right for you. So essentially, Aries, right now is about kind of spending time in a vast open space that allows you to think. You can't be in the confinements of your job. You can't try to think it through in the confinements of your bedroom. Yeah, the awakening coming through here very strongly. So this is about what you need to release, is releasing this, kind of releasing sleep, releasing confinement. You need to awaken. You need to go expand further than you've imagined. You want this answer, but this answer is not near, it's not in the environment that you're in. You need to change your environment, Aries. So we may think we are fully aware and awake, only to find we still have much to explore and learn. Look more closely at ways you can expand your knowledge, but ensure your foundations are strong. Awakening doesn't just entail reaching for higher levels. It also means being fully aware of what is below and before, and using all your knowledge and the wisdom you have acquired. Improved psychic abilities are indicated. Pay close attention to your hunches, feelings, and even daydreams. What did I say? Your intuition, right? Something is about to come into maturity. Masculine energies are very strong at the moment, and the aspects of physical provision, a progression of ideas into action. Let me say that slower. Masculine energies are very strong at the moment. The aspects of a physical provision, a progression of ideas into action, and understanding of how to repair something which needs attention are all present. This could be anything from a relationship to a broken tap. So Aries, your affirmation is I am capable, awake, and ready. And your keywords are awaken, foundation, maturity, importance, and psychic abilities. With this fairy energy coming through, it seems like you guys have a very strong intuition about something. And tapping into nature, tapping into your environment, expanding your environment, getting a mentor. These things will all help you get the answers that you need. I'm going to take these two cards because these are yours right here. A fiery climax approaches and take time to breathe out. So your general messages are take time to breathe out. So take a second to breathe and your answer will come. And a fiery climax approaches because once you take that second to breathe, soon after the emotions are going to come like wild. I apologize. The answers are going to come like wildfire for you, Aries. So I'm going to go ahead and close Aries off here. Currently on Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into Pisces. Pisces, what we're going to do is we're going to pull what you need to embrace under this pink full moon and what you need to let go of under this pink full moon. The general energy for you guys was I can't be satisfied by muddy waters. And it was a fiery climax is approaching, which is funny because that's the card I just pulled for Aries. So Aries might be relevant for you guys. And it's the full moon in Aries, actually, that card. With my moonology. But let's see what you guys need to embrace. Hope was at the bottom of the deck. I feel like that's an important word. Alright, so the cards coming through are music, lost and found, and hidden depths. I had also got music for Capricorn, I think it was. Yeah. Music is listen carefully for there may be a message in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, rekindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. The lost and found is coming through. It has a cat on here too, so High Priestess energy. What was once lost is about to be found. Thanks to the lost and found fairy, sometimes she can help us find things we never realized were lost. And hidden depths. Sometimes something hidden is about to come to light, perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we become free. That's funny because it's all very High Priestess energy, Pisces. Pisces, I think I'm going to do something a little different for you guys, to be honest. Because I'm getting called very strongly to my tarot deck. We didn't do tarot for anybody else. I've been doing... So what I'm going to do is what you need to let go of with the tarot. Cups energy, so emotions, 10 and 6. They're all cups. 5 of cups, 6 of cups, and 10 of cups. So money losses, all is not lost. If you look behind, you may have something to salvage. Happy house, childhood memories, happiness, good things, party or celebration. It seems like there's something in your childhood, a memory from your childhood that... But it seems you're very defensive about your childhood because 5 of Wands just fell out right when I was saying that. I think the fiery climax approaching is your power, Pisces. Yeah, the Hanged Man and the 7 of Wands here. So the Seven of Wands is more the defensive one. I apologize, but it's funny with the Five of Wands because arguments around you. 5 energy, 12, 7. 3 in Pentacles is also coming through. Improvements underway, but delays around it. Renowned, glory, place of worship. Pisces, it seems like you're about to come into a new power. And that new power is linked to a memory. If you watch Charmed, Pisces, you know that our powers are linked to our emotions. So if you unlock this specific emotion or take accountability for this specific emotion, you're going to come into a new power. Hope came through, and that's, what did I say was trying to pop through on the other one? This is what you, like, letting go of. So let's see what the hope is. I'm hearing Hope is a Dangerous Thing by Lana Del Rey, because hope is dangerous. But I'm also hearing the story about Pandora's box. Hope was at the bottom of, after all Pandora's, after all the grotesque and evil and horrible things in Pandora's box, at the bottom was hope. But I'm also hearing Hope is a Dangerous Thing by Lana Del Rey, and with the music coming through, it seems like maybe that song will trigger something for you guys. And then also, too, I'm hearing you don't want to have hope, you want to have faith. Hope dies out, faith lasts forever. So with the hope, the night is filling with starlight, the full moon rises to illuminate, and hope expands to fill the void. It is time to embrace the present and let go of the past while looking forward with new vision. Something wonderful is coming your way soon, so do not give up. Keep strong with your faith and try to concentrate on the smaller stepping stones towards your desires and goals. Lady of the Night Flower assists with those wishing to manifest a brighter future and increase their access to resources. That's funny, because what did this say with the 3 of Pentacles? Improvements are underway. Money's coming your way, especially with this 10 here and 2 5s, 5 energy, 10 energy. Those are all significant of financial freedom, change, transformation, leadership, action. The 7 is very significant to spirituality, and the 6 is very significant to temperance and maintaining a good attitude in the process, staying humble, not becoming too arrogant, and all these will be rewarded with abundance. Wow, this is crazy. It indicates that a time of increased abundance is coming for those who do not give in. Healing of past hurts, forgiveness, and meeting someone who instills new faith in a better tomorrow are all indicated. The challenges are becoming disillusioned, giving up too soon, and losing your self-confidence. Your affirmation is, I believe in a brighter tomorrow, and the keywords are hope, optimism, the present, joy, meeting, illumination, and disillusionment. Let's read your general message, Pisces. I feel like this is your card right here. That's crazy. It's a fiery climax approaches in Aries. I'm going to read this. I actually haven't read it for anybody else. Full moon in Aries. It's time to see if you've been being a little too much me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants. 5 of Wands, 7 of Wands energy. But you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too fast, or overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level. You've created the situation yourself, which means you can create your way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. Your affirmation is be nice, be kind, smile, and be polite as you navigate to where you want to be. And additional meanings for this card are being assertive is good, just don't ride roughshod over anyone. Be humble. If you're in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace. Don't be a baby. Sorry, but this could be an issue for you right now. You need to have more fun. And the teaching is the full moon in Aries is a super fiery time when emotions can run very high. On the upside, there's excitement about what may lie ahead, but tempers are likely to flare with rash comments or decisions. No matter when you pull this card, it signals that the situation has just or is about to come to a peak, perhaps in a rather heated way. There could be a price to pay if you have been too competitive or too blunt. Yeah, I'm going to close that off here, Pisces. I feel like that's self-explanatory. If it's not, you can book a personal reading. But yeah, I feel like you're coming on to a very strong and powerful time in your life. Even if you're somebody who's strong and powerful now, it seems as if after this full moon, it's going to really unlock something in you. And I do feel like you have work to do. I feel like that's self-explanatory from the fiery climax approaches in Aries. But essentially, I feel like it's really just going to be about going with the flow. Look, pure intentions. The fairy of manifestation will help you use your wishes wisely. Manifest your heart's desire with pure intention and for the highest good of all. So yeah, I guess that was your final message right there. If you set your intentions on unlocking this power, and you set your intentions on abundance, you have all the spiritual help you need. Whether it's the universe, God, fairies, whoever it is that you believe is assisting you, trust when I say that they are very much so taking a driver's seat right now in your life. You're pretty much a passenger. So enjoy that process. That's very, very beautiful. All right, now we have Scorpio. Alright, so Scorpio, your general energy was the boy is mine, and to have more confidence, it seems like you could be in a love triangle. This love triangle could also be something as simple as you could just have a crush on somebody who's in a relationship. I don't know why that came to me. But also, Scorpio, the other energy I'm feeling is that you could be going up for a job promotion, or like trying to just get something that somebody else wants. Like you're in a competition for something. So let's see. What's this card? Yeah. So go outside is coming through. It's time to go outside, tune into the powerful peace of nature. Whether you are and feel, wherever you are, and feel at one with your habitat. And then find balance. Find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, and you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Take a power nap. Yeah, so it feels like for me, Scorpio, that something is off kilter in your life. You may be aiming towards something specific right now, and it could be just kind of taking up a lot of your thoughts, energy, time. So what they're asking for you to do right now to embrace is to embrace more self-care, embrace more love, embrace more calmness in your life. And really what this will do is this will help you kind of like, sometimes when you take a step back from something you're so invested in, sometimes it helps make it more, what I'm hearing is that this is becoming not fun because you're overthinking it. Even if you're like dating somebody who could be dating somebody else, it's kind of like, if you just stop overthinking it and just kind of enjoy the moment for what it is, the future could end up lying in a marriage or in something more committed or serious. But it's like, why take it so serious now? You know, because it's just kind of draining you. So let's see what you need to let go. Sensitivity. Yeah, you need to stop being so sensitive. You need to stop being so... You're taking everything personally. And it's causing you to kind of hold grudges. So emotions, feelings, and sensitivities are all very strong at the present and may cause decisions to be more difficult. You might even find that a clear answer is not possible at all. Be extra considerate and kind to others because someone really needs you and your compassion. The core of an issue will be difficult to see right now, but patience and a gentle approach will assist in understanding. A romantic encounter, an increase in feelings of love for someone, and the deepening of commitment are all possible. This is due to a change in energies associated with true feelings for the better. This is a good time to express how you feel about someone or something. Be aware that under the energy of Knight of this card, a person can easily fall into the role of victim due to the rise in everyone's emotions and sensitivities. So it's kind of like, stop worrying about the situation and just make it clear of what you desire, what you want, and kind of like roll with the punches. Be aware, the affirmation is, I make space and boundaries for feelings. Sensitivity, empathy, compassion, romance, feelings, and neediness and victim are all the key words here. So let's do your general energy. Communication is key. The new moon in Gemini, you could be dealing with a Gemini or a Sagittarius since they're on the opposite spectrum. I'm going to say like an air sign or a fire sign in general. Maybe even a water sign. No, not water. Yeah, well, honestly, yeah, I feel like an ass would. It could be an earth sign too because of the earth and the go outside. Either way, communication is key right now. I'm going to read this from the book for you guys. And then we're going to move on to Cancer, and that is our last sign. A successful relationship usually comes down to one thing, communication. And the new moon in Gemini card is all about the start of a new cycle for communicating with the person at the center of your question. Talking things through is the answer to whatever it is you're asking about. If you can't talk to that person, you can journal about it to yourself. Emails, text messages, and all forms of communication will also help you now. If the issue you're asking about concerns a sibling or neighbor, there's a new start coming, a time to wipe the slate clean and start over. This card could also suggest you've been too frivolous lately and need to get grounded again. But most importantly, drawing this card emphasizes the need to communicate. Write a list of all the people you love most and see if you're prioritizing them. The additional meanings for this card is time to tell someone how you feel. Don't be all in your head and not in your heart. Someone is flirting with you. Read more books. And the teaching is Gemini is the sign of communication, socializing of ideas, and travel. And the energy around it and around this card, no matter where you pull it, is speedy, gossipy, and flirtatious. The new moon in Gemini is a wonderful time to get out and socialize. Gemini loves a chat. One thing to be aware of is that this card can also indicate being mentally scattered. What does it say in the beginning? Find balance. You're thinking or overthinking. Daily meditations will help to unscramble crossed wires in your brain. What I'm hearing for you Scorpios, one important thing is don't say anything about somebody that you wouldn't say to their face. And secondly, the communication this is also talking about is communication with self. The reason you could not be possibly expressing yourself properly to another person is because it seems like you don't even know what it is that you're feeling yourself. Like you're having a hard time processing your own emotions. So I'm going to go ahead and say, like, for you, Scorpio, now is an opportune time to, like, journal through your feelings, journal through your emotions, and really, like, focus on, like, what it is you feel. Not what you think, what you feel. Learning the difference between thinking and feeling, which is actually an earth sign issue. So when actually the earth is probably coming through because you might have strong earth placements. You should really check into that, Scorpio. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into Cancer. All right, so Cancer, the general energy was Gone and Never Coming Back by Melanie Fiona, and your general energy card was Look at the Bigger Picture. It was like the Sagittarius energy. Sag and Cancer have a love-hate relationship. So you could have had a love-hate relationship with someone, but essentially now is the time to look at the bigger picture. You could be trying to come back to the love, but you kind of have to remember about like the hate, because I feel like the hate is kind of outweighs the love, and maybe it doesn't for you, but that's something you have to think about with this full moon in Libra, because full moon in Libra is all about the scales and justice, it's about being practical, and it's about being practical, and it's about being neutral, unbiased in a situation. You know, a judge, somebody who takes their emotions out of a decision and they just look at the facts. And when you just look at the facts, you need to be looking at how something could be weighing out Cancer. You know, something could be weighing completely in the negative, but your emotions are telling you that you miss someone, or that something, or some type of job or some type of experience was favorable to you, when in reality it was draining you. So what you need to embrace is come together. Fairies like to be busy, and a group of them is showing you that many hands make light work. Working as a team helps to get the job done. And fairy spotting. It's time to go fairy spotting. It's said that seeing is believing, but in fact the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. So Cancer, it seems as if, like, I'm sensing you're in the brink. You're in the process of joining a group, or a group of people who have the same beliefs as you, and your beliefs have got you to that group. You need to have faith that your beliefs will now help you manifest abundance, right? When it talks about fairy spotting, that's kind of what that's talking about. And then the coming together is talking about like a group of other people. So believing is seeing, right? So believing has brought you closer to people who believe in the same things as you. Now, these people will help bring you closer to abundance in some way. So I would really focus on embracing this community that it is that you're getting into, or embracing new people, or embracing people who have the same spiritual beliefs as you, or same religious beliefs as you, because these people are really going to make a difference in your life. You need to let go of trying to understand everything that's happening, because that's the issue, is you're trying to logically make sense of something that is not logical, right? You're trying to get a why, and there's no why yet. Right now, all you have is the action. Like, if you're starting a business, starting a creative project, about to start a new job, just started a mentorship, like, I don't know, I'm just saying anything, to be honest, that's like coming to my head. But it's like you want some type of analytical, you know, proof that this is gonna work, and it's like there isn't any. First and foremost, I want to say there's nothing new under the sun. Whatever you're doing, somebody has done it before, and they've probably been successful at it. Maybe you need to follow some people on social media, or get to know some people from a distance, not the people in your community or group. Maybe the people in your community group are people who are doing what it is that you're doing, and, you know, whatever. But you need to find somebody who's successful in your industry, successful in whatever it is you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying, if this is relationship based, like, maybe you need to look at people who have successful marriages, not like famous people who've been married for like 10 years and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about successful marriages, like an old couple at your local church who's been together for 50 plus years, and have made it through the darkest of times, you know, like, and I'm saying older couple too, because you want to look into people who have been through like historical things, like with us going through a pandemic, with us going through these new wars that are happening, these political issues. You want to look at people who have overcome these types of things and still had a successful relationship. World War II, Vietnam War, and still ended up together through it all, and had beautiful marriages and children, and etc., etc. If it is a business or a creative project, you need to look at people who were like sleeping in their car at one point, and now they're successful, you know, because it does happen. There's nothing new under the sun, and they could be doing exactly what it is you're doing, you know. So yeah, so you need to stop thinking about trying to understand things, and just think about believing in yourself, believing in the process, believing in the unknown, believing in the spiritual realm, because these things are all going to enhance your confidence. And when your confidence is enhanced, your work ethic, or your ability to love is enhanced, right? So that's kind of what you're looking for right now under this full moon. And then let's go to what your general message is, Cancer. That's crazy. Look at the bigger picture. That's all my eyes were closed too. Look at the bigger picture with the full moon in Sagittarius. They must want me to read that right from the book. And be bold and make the first move. I'm going to read both of these from the book for you guys. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over I always say this book was written by somebody who lives in like England, because they say things so weird. I'm just going to say fretting over the mundane can be counterproductive, or perhaps you've been being all talk and no action. This card is just a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with the uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. And the affirmation is take time out for a mini break or adventure. Yeah, because Sagittarius is all about adventure in order to get inspiration. I just needed to explain that because I'm a Sagittarius. So I'm just going to make that clear. They're not telling you to take a break to forget about it. They're telling you to take a break or an adventure to get re-inspired. To do the fairy spotting, right? Go on an adventure to find fairies with somebody else who believes. That might sound crazy, but essentially doing something childlike and innocent like that can help reinvigorate your inspiration to get a project completed or to fall in love again. The additional meanings for this card is the situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. What did I tell you too? I'm pretty sure I just said for Cancer, this is all about balance. It's all about justice. I'm pretty sure I just said that. I'm not quite sure. Find a balance between, and then the full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are reminded that life is an adventure. There's a big wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. And we're going to do the cardinal moon. Now is the time to be bold, bossy even. Take matters into your own hands. Cardinal signs are powerful and self-starting. They're determined and great at organizing. Drawing this card strongly suggests that you're going to need to be all those things to get your ideal resolution or position. Just so you guys know, the cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So our full moon is in a cardinal sign. So that's why it's saying and it's funny because both of these cards, with the full moon being a pink full moon, both of these cards are literally pink Cancer. So yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that. Cardinal signs are powerful and self-starting, so they're determined and great at organizing. Drawing this card strongly suggests that you're going to need to be all those things to get your ideal resolution or position in the situation you're asking about. This card may challenge you on how strongly you really want something. If you're worrying about a situation, it is a suggestion to be less passive. Instead, take an assertive stance as you steer events where you want them to go. Speak up for what you want. If you're serious about sorting things out, you may need to take the lead in some way to step up as a leader. And the affirmation is, I am taking charge of my destiny. And the additional meanings for this card are be bold and follow your heart and your emotions. Avoid recklessness or moving too fast, or like it said in the other cards, speaking out too abruptly, becoming too arrogant. Come into your power. The time for action is now. Ask Ganesha, the Hindu elephant god, for help and the teaching. In astrology, there are 3 quadruplicities: Cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. I didn't even realize I was saying Cancer, but Cancer, you are a cardinal sign. So this is very much in your energy. Remember, we all have 12 signs in our chart for different parts of our lives. It's just the way the astrological wheel works. These are the signs that like to get things started and which are natural leaders. No matter when you draw this card, it's a sign that something new has started and you quite possibly need to take the lead on it. Yeah, I'm going to close that off there for you guys, Cancer. I feel like that was very self-explanatory. Essentially, your general messages are that destiny, the universe is working in your favor. You just need to believe it. And with that belief system will come beautiful and bright things, honestly, as simply put. If whether that destiny is, you know, marriage and children or, you know, fucking $1 million. I'm hearing for some Cancers, this is strongly work related. Okay, I don't care what it is. I'm hearing that you need to light a candle for this full moon. If you're thinking about things manifesting abundance, write yourself a check and put it on your altar. That's a great way to manifest abundance during this time. And kind of show the universe that you believe. Like, you believe you'll be able to cash $1 million check in a year. You know, being practical about it, not announcing that to the world, but just staying heavy set on setting goals that would help you achieve that kind of success. If it's a love that you desire, now is an opportune time to make a list of your ideal lover, or make a list of the person it is that you do love, and the reasons you love them, and keeping that on your altar with a candle that you've lit, because that can really strongly enhance the energy between your lover and you, and it can help you attract more of those qualities from your lover. But yeah, essentially lighting a candle, doing some candle magic right now, stepping more deeply into a belief system. So maybe it's not candle magic, maybe you're somebody who just needs to pray about it. But yeah, pray about it, dream about it, act on it by doing rituals. These things will help you manifest what it is that you desire most. Don't, like it said kind of in your cards, Cancer, don't, like, it didn't say exactly don't be lazy, but I'm using my own words, my own verbiage, but don't be lazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, act on what it is that you desire. So I'm going to go ahead and close this off here. This was right at 2 hours, which I usually go way over, but I felt like this was like a good 2 hours. I didn't feel rushed, and I didn't feel stressed out while I was doing it. But yeah, I hope this reaches you guys in good health and high spirits. What I would say is if you are interested in a personal reading, then you can go ahead and check out the link in the description. I will be posting this to YouTube. It will also be available on my story. I can see when people go back to the beginning, so I know a lot of people have skipped through, watched their signs. I would encourage you to watch your sun, moon, rising. If you've already watched your sun, check out your moon and your rising. If you need help figuring out what your moon and your rising are, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to assist you with that. If you have any questions about the crystals I recommended, please let me know that as well, and I'm more than happy to assist you with that as well. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close this off here, guys. Sorry, I'm like cleaning up, guys. Alright, I'm out. Bye.